Hello, welcome back to The Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke, a professional organizer, and on this channel, I love bringing you all things organizing, decluttering, upcycling, DIYs, basically anything crafty. Today is one of my favorite things that I get to do, and that's viewer makeovers. I love doing viewer makeovers so much. I get pictures from you guys, and I cannot wait until someday I have an RV to start driving around and helping all of you. But for right now, I have to either pick just those that are close by or those that once I meet with you, I know this is something we can do virtually because it's really hard to do virtually, but some of you have been so amazing, and I have a couple lined up that I know will be just as good. This particular job that we're going over today, I was so fortunate because they were just a couple cities over. I got to meet with this family. They were lovely, and the space they had was fantastic. Take a look. Here's a quick room tour to start with. I was so excited about this space. Now, this is a really unique area, and that's a large bedroom, but it has this interesting alcove. And this is not an add-on. This was how the house was originally built. So the homeowner is using this side for sewing, and it has two closets. So I don't know if it was once two rooms that were broken and shared into one, but look at this closet. If you were to hang clothes in front of here, you would never know there was a secret door, and this hidden space goes back about 10 feet. It's incredible. The homeowner's going to tackle this one on their own, but I was so excited to see all of that hidden storage space. Now, another unique thing with this room is the homeowner already had these wonderful IKEA cabinets that were put in, so the bone structure was so good, and they had done a great job categorizing. So this area is what really caught my eye, is there was a lot of micro-organizing, same with inside the IKEA cabinets, that I really wanted to address and break down. So it was time to start the planning. I always suggest space planning first, and for this we wanted to keep zones separate. So we'll have the sewing area separated, but with the placement of furniture, I wanted to move some things around so that the space was more utilized and open. So the first thing we did is went shopping through her house. We found a little file cabinet, and she had some of these 4 cubed cubbies that were elsewhere. We're going to bring those up. We're also going to move this large antique table that she has. She said this came with the house, and I love this piece. So we're going to make that a central focal point, and we're also going to take that big bookcase in the corner that's really kind of crowding that area and move it to the other side of the room to give this more light and a more open feel. What this also does is if she's in that area sewing, she still has this large surface area for cutting or laying out patterns. But likewise, if she's pulling anything out of her storage space, she has a landing place to set things, go through them, and really make this feel like a large craft area. She has this beautiful curio cabinet that she'll be seeing when she's at her desk. We're going to keep that for her favorite items. So here's an overview of the entire floor plan so you can see where we're going to be focusing her items. Now it's time to get started. Now, I was fortunate in that this homeowner had already broken down so much, but a lot of it was duplicated, or she had several containers holding the same or similar things, especially when it came to office supplies. There were so many desk organizers and paper organizers that it was really taking up a lot more space. So this was going to be the area I really wanted to focus her craft supplies and decor pieces because it's such a pretty open place. So I'm pulling everything out, and I'm sorting as I go to keep the likes with the likes. I saw this area above where she was keeping her CDs, DVDs, audio things was all stacked up, which made it very difficult to get to. One of the easiest things to do is flip the orientation so that you can get access. Now I have something dividing this, but her husband's going to make a custom little bookshelf that'll fit in there to hold all of these things so that she can get them easily. I'm starting to get craft items in there, and I'm looking at the other items she's currently using on the bookcase to see how we can redo it. And I'm planning out each one of these cabinets to hold similar supplies so that they're in zones. We decided that this file cabinet was going to be the perfect place to store all of her fabric. She had fabric in other places in the home. We were able to consolidate them into this one place so that it's in her sewing area. But these things aren't necessarily pretty to look at. We can close the drawer and have it tucked away, which allows us to focus on the prettier textiles that she has and organize those in these open mesh baskets and drawers. This pretty much wraps up day one. We're going to continue refining these areas, and then tomorrow we're going to tackle this area for sewing. Coming into day two, this is when we want to focus on moving the larger pieces. We had gotten the bookcase moved over already. We had pulled up the cubbies from downstairs and the file cabinets, and look how much brighter and more open this space looks by making that change. These are a lot of the things we've pulled out that we still need to break down and consolidate. Again, all of those organizers were really taking away space, but when you have 7 or 8 different containers holding the same thing, it ends up taking away so much valuable real estate. So we're combining things in a more visual, pleasing way into these bookcases. These cubbies are going to be great for the random things that she uses often, but don't necessarily look cohesive enough to have out. By choosing her favorite containers and picking categories that fit inside of the container, you can really see how this is starting to shape together, and we're getting similar categories in one spot. I already think this corner looks so much better. On her bookshelf, we put her favorite visual things on top so that she can display them, and we're putting together like-sized containers that have similar supplies inside, and this gives such a nice streamlined look, but still has the supplies you need super easy to access. We'll focus this space down below for some items that are big and bulky that she doesn't get to very often. And then inside of these cubbies, we were able to repurpose these plastic containers she had, which is great. Each one will be labeled for what's inside of it, but she still wanted to keep some of these file organizers. They fit inside of these baskets so she can keep things divided and easily have access to it, but it'll look nice from afar. Next, it was time to tackle the sewing area, and this was really a matter of pulling out the things that didn't belong, whether it was decor pieces, sewing pieces, and getting them set aside and either combined with what area we already had those things in, or making the decision to let them go. But by doing that, look at how much better this space looks already. Now here is a peek at all of the containers we were able to remove. Every one of these had something in it, and many times even she was surprised at how many similar containers she had that contained things, and she had forgotten about some of these supplies because they were spread out amongst all of these containers. Getting this out made all of the difference in this room. Are you ready to see it? This room was big and beautiful on its own, but now look at how it's laid out. Here's a reminder of before and the after. I think I could sleep in this room. I teased this homeowner that I would be hiding in that closet and living because this craft room is my dream. Now, this homeowner had such beautiful pieces already. They really had a lot of wonderful things that we were able to reutilize. We didn't spend a dime doing this organization because she had all of these wonderful containers. Some of these have things inside of it, and we've clearly labeled them for her to see. The file cabinet was a great repurposing for all of that fabric, especially since this is already in her sewing area. These IKEA drawers that she has are great because you can quickly see what's inside of them, and since it's right underneath her sewing machine, she can quickly grab what she needs. This pegboard, all we did was remove all of the extra supplies that were not sewing related, and I reconfigured it just so it was aesthetically pleasing, and I put, as always, likes with likes. I like that there's so many different types of supplies going on in here, and yet the whole room still looks cohesive. She sells items online. We have those separated. She does homeschooling. She does crafting. She does painting. She does her Cricut, sewing. There are a multitude of supplies in here, but we've got it all laid out very logically so she can go to that one place where that full category is and she can get access to it. We have her decorative items in a place where she can still enjoy them, but by grouping even her decor pieces, this looks like an intended storage place. It looks nice when you walk in, and everything is single layer so she can get access to it. We have her shipping supplies tucked off the side so you don't see them, as well as signs she's going to remake. In a trash can was a perfect place to store them. This big metal wired basket was great for her canvases. Documents from past tax years are tucked behind because we don't need to get access to those. And these big gray tubs hold all of her overflow office supplies, which she seldom gets into, and the tray for when she does homeschooling. Every one of these items is a complete like with like category, so even if you can't see what's inside of it, by peeking you know that's the total category of a certain type of supply. And for those other things, we made sure to label everything so that it's super easy to know what's inside. Up top, we have some magazines and books. By turning around the vintage ones, we get to really enjoy the edges of those patina pages. And now she can easily pull out a DVD and not have to worry about everything toppling over. This is such an inviting space. I am so excited for the homeowner. They were very happy with the end result. I do think this is probably one of the prettiest rooms I've gotten to work in. And these IKEA cabinets really made a huge difference because we were able to readjust the shelves, fit the similar categories in, and utilize every inch of this. If there was a box that had an eclectic mix that she didn't want to see, we just put a piece of paper inside so that the label is the only thing you see and it still looks neat from the outside. The other little thing that we got to do in this space, because of the IKEA doors, we got out some command strips, and on the inside of this door, we hung up all of the Dollar Tree stickers, labels, and vinyl sayings that she had. They won't get damaged, they won't get dog-eared, and they're super easy to pull off that hook and get the one you want and hang them back up. Here's a reminder of what the room looked like before, and they had done such a wonderful job categorizing already. By just refining and consolidating a little bit more, we were able to use every inch of space in here, and she actually has open storage space left over so that as she's adding on to her interests or supplies, she now has the space to do it. I really love getting to do other people's craft rooms. It introduces me to so many different supplies and different things, and oftentimes it inspires me to go home and either start trying a new craft or thinking differently about the supplies that I currently have. Having such a big room to play in was a dream. I really enjoy doing that, but I love the small craft spaces just as much. So if you have a craft space that you would like some help with, I will be reopening the virtual organizing around March. So I'll let you know as soon as we get to do that, and then you can start making your submissions again. But those craft room makeovers are completely thanks to my Patreons. If you would like information on how you could support and become a Patreon, that information is in the description below. But a huge thank you to this homeowner for letting me come in. They were totally open to my crazy ideas and suggestions, and I think it turned out great. So I can't wait to read what you think of this. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.